The road to the inaugural Big Ten championship game begins today. Several conference stars have their fans dreaming of the ultimate prize, including Michigan's Denard Robinson. But the Wolverines must overcome a familiar foe, the Golden Gophers. Minnesota and Michigan renew their rivalry with the Little Brown Jug on the line, next on the Big Ten Network. And here comes the Michigan Wolverines. Brady Hope getting up and touching that banner. We are ready for some football. Big doings here at the Big House. It is Big Ten Network football presented by the United States Marine Corps. For the first time in conference history, a Big Ten divisional game. Two teams from the Legends division battling. It is Minnesota against the 19th ranked Michigan Wolverines. Hello, everyone. So glad you could join us. Big Ten Network football with my former Northwestern Wildcat guy, cornerback Chris Martin. I am Eric Collins. And, folks, the calendar now, October, and we've got big doings, big stories from both sides of the ball at quarterback for both Minnesota and Michigan.
Well, and for Michigan, it all starts with Denard Robinson. When you look at what he brings to the offense, particularly with his legs, he's responsible for 11 of the 16 offensive touchdowns. He has to have a big day. Bigger question, though, for Minnesota. Marquise Gray, I saw him in warmups. I don't think he will play. Insert Max Shortell. Offensive line has the onus. They have to keep him clean.
All right, for the absolute latest, let's go down in the field. Deion Miller is standing by. Deion.
Well, Eric, the good news for Minnesota is their head coach, Jerry Kill, told me he's feeling better than he has in a long time. But as Chris just mentioned, the same cannot be said for their starting quarterback, Marquise Gray, who's battled a toe injury all week. His status, quite literally, a game-time decision. If he does not go, it will be the true freshman, Max Shortell, making his first career start here in the Big House. He has played off and on, and when I asked Coach Kill about the tall order of making that first start in this stadium, he said, thank God for USC. Shortell led the Gophers on a near comeback in the Coliseum in that season opener. He's a confident kid with quarterback DNA. He's hoping to lead them to a big upset here in the conference opener. Eric?
Thank you, Deanna. It looks like it will be Shortell, but we're going to have to wait. Jerry Kill and Minnesota, they have won the toss. They have deferred the decision until the second half. So they will kick off. Michigan will start, and already we're going to see that weather is going to be an issue this afternoon. Brady Hope coaching his first conference game here at Minnesota, and the ball is being held onto the tee by a finger, and it sails out through the end zone. That is going to be the direction the wind is blowing, north to south or left to right, as you watch it on your screen at home. So Michigan starts on offense. Denard Robinson, the co-Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week, takes his offense onto the field.
Well, he's been unstoppable, particularly on the ground, Eric. Lots of quarterback draws by design. You wonder if Minnesota's going to try and bring the heat, though, and make Denard Robinson a thrower today.
Right now, Minnesota breaking the huddle. They will be going, check that, Michigan breaking the huddle. They will be going into the wind, a significant wind. Fitzgerald Toussaint in the backfield next to Denard Robinson. And Robinson wants to throw on first down. It is complete. Jeremy Gallen with the catch, a pickup of 8 yards. Take a look at our Bank of America keys to victory, Chris.
Well, for Minnesota, it's on offense and defense, it's winning at the line, particularly if we have Shortell in the game. Got to give him more time. And then when you look at Michigan, Eric, offensively and defensively, they love to make impact plays, big strikes.
Devin Gardner now in at quarterback for the Wolverines. A little bit of a surprise, and they hand it off to Robinson, who tries some option football. Razzle-dazzle, and it fails for Michigan. They actually lose 3 yards.
Well played, a little trickery. You're going to see Denard Robinson. Here he is. He's just going to come in motion, hand him the ball, option play. Well played by Minnesota. Look at the force player outside. Great job getting the running back on the ground.
So Michigan goes from 2nd and 2 to 3rd and 5. Gardner back to the sideline, and Denard Robinson out of the gun. Three receivers set for the Wolverines, trying to stay on the field and avoid a 3 and out to begin the ball game. Open look for Robinson. He's going to run for it. First down and a bunch more. He crosses the 35 out to the 38 before the tackle is made by Kyle Henderson.
Well, this is where Denard Robinson can be deadly. He drops back. It's obviously a pass down, but then he waits and sniffs out a lane, and all he needs is a sliver of a crease, athletic enough, fast enough to hit it and cause damage.
Now second all-time in rushing yards for quarterbacks in Big Ten play. Only Indiana's Antoine Randall has run for more yards than Denard Robinson, just a junior, as a quarterback. Handoff. Toussaint crosses the 50. He's got a chance, dragged down from behind at the 28, but a huge gain for Michigan. Kyle Henderson saved a touchdown, but it's a gain of 37.
When you study the tape on Toussaint, he is a straight line guy. He's looking to make one cut and use his track speed to get on the second level. Great blocking up front, and that's what they want to do here. Get the run game going, not have to rely on Denard Robinson. Here it's going to be right inside, has a lead block, and that's what you want. Give the ball to the track guy, let him get downhill.
Now they move Toussaint out into the right side of this formation. In the backfield, Vincent Smith, and Smith has the ball. Smith still on his feet, barrels down to the 22-yard line. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the starting front wall for the Wolverines. New starter at left guard. Ricky Barnum is banged up. So Michael Schofield, sophomore from Chicago, gets his first start at guard. Backs and receivers. Now we just saw Vincent Smith with that carry a moment ago. The tight end, Kevin Coker, could be an important part of today's game. He's the safety valve. He's that safe pass for Denard Robinson if they want to get that passing game unlocked. Second down and short. Denard, designed quarterback run, makes the first man miss. He's got a chance, trying to get to the edge. Makes another man miss inside the 5, down to the 3. 18 more yards for the Wolverines.
And that's just filthy. That's the best way to categorize Denard Robinson. Just amazing feet. Well, just watch his feet this play. Cut back, there, another cut. And then he gets out in space, can make this guy miss. You have to get a lot of bodies around Denard Robinson. He almost always makes the first man miss.
Michigan has been fantastic in the red zone so far this year. 13 for 13, only having to settle for a field goal once.
Look at all the spacing they've created.
Handoff, touchdown, Vincent Smith. Michigan goes 80 yards, lickety-split. 3-yard touchdown, Vincent Smith, and it's a 6-0 Wolverines lead. Brendan Gibbons for the extra point. And it's a 7-0 lead. Michigan, last 75 yards of an 80-yard drive on the ground, and they catch in for 7. Big Ten Network Football is presented by the United States Marine Corps. The few, the proud, the Marines. By Auto Owners Insurance. Get to know the independent agents representing Auto Owners Insurance, the no-problem people. There is the flagpole on Central Campus near the Diag. We'll be back to Ann Arbor in a moment. Michigan on top of Minnesota 7-0. Michigan goes 80 yards into the wind and scores a touchdown courtesy of Vincent Smith.
Yeah, and here's the reason why. Shady Salmon's got to stay outside. He's going to get caught up in the wash here. He's the force player, so he has to force his ball back inside. He gets caught in the wash. Easy run lane for Vincent Smith.
Can't ask for a better start for the Wolverines. Now they'll kick this football off into the wind. Matt Wiles got a good leg. See if he can get it to the end zone. And pretty darn close. It bounces at the 1 and goes out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Gophers will start at the 20-yard line, and folks, this is a true freshman quarterback starting for the first time since 1984 for the Golden Gophers. Ricky Foggy doing it for Lou Holtz back in '84. This is an 18-year-old kid, Chris.
And how big are his eyes right now? You're in the big house, over 100,000 people here, and you're running out to lead the group, and they're going to rely on him heavily. He has been battle tested, though, so it'll be interesting to see how he responds. Michigan's going to come after him.
So Marquise Gray out with a toe injury, and a true freshman quarterback. Shortell starts it, and that's what you'd imagine they do. They start with a safe handoff. Juwan Bennett picks up a yard. Take a look at Minnesota's offensive lineup. We start with the big guys up front. Zach Effing gets the start, redshirt freshman from Kenosha, Wisconsin. He is the new right guard today. That offensive line has struggled so far this year to protect the passer. Backs and receivers, going to see a lot of Juwan Bennett. And Deshaun McKnight, can they get him the ball? He is their most dynamic offensive player. But can you get it to McKnight with a freshman quarterback in the passing game? We will see. Left side now. This is Devin Wright trying to get outside. Can't do it. Swarmed close to the line of scrimmage. It's actually going to be a loss of a yard. Take a look at the Auto Owners Insurance defense for Michigan. Craig Rowe has played very well last couple of weeks. Coaches are thrilled with the way he is taking to their coaching. Linebackers, another start for Jake Ryan, redshirt freshman from Cleveland, Ohio. He did a lot of good things a week ago against San Diego State. And then the defensive backfield. Troy Woolfolk gets the start, but he's banged up. He's got a bad ankle. They are wondering whether or not he will be limited. He is good when he's 100%.
It will be interesting to see what the play call here is. Money down for Minnesota with the young freshman backed up.
Out of the gun. Shortell in trouble. Wrapped up and brought down. Ryan Van Bergen.
And we talked about this in the open, is that you have to give Shortell time. You know the game's going to be moving very fast for him as a freshman, and also just making his reads. So the offensive line is going to have the onus. And here it's just going to come right off the left side of your screen. They run a twist. Good job by Van Bergen fighting to get to the quarterback.
That is now the 12th sack allowed by the offensive line of Minnesota. Dan Orseski to punt it away. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage. This is an absolute bomb. Wow. With the wind at his back, gets it all the way to the 25. Jeremy Gallen is tackled on the spot. Punt of 59 yards and a negative yard return. Here is Dennis Lipsky, today's referee.
Illegal formation. Number 26 was in the backfield, giving the kicking team 5 in the backfield. Michigan has elected to enforce that previous spot. Will repeat 4th down.
Oh, why not? That was a 59-yard punt with a negative yard return. Might as well make Minnesota do it again.
Well, sure, now you have a good chance for a return. You mentioned the win element. Possible bad snap. Good, just a smart call.
So the line of scrimmage now moved to the 11-yard line as the wind is howling here at Michigan Stadium. Orseski from his end zone. This another good boot, man. This one even better than the one before. At the 25-yard line, Gallen falls down when he fields it. Folks, that's a 64-yard punt with no return.
Yeah, because of a swirling wind, he had a tough time tracking the ball, but he had plenty of running room. So you know he's kind of kicking himself right here. There's a clear run lane, but it's hard to track it.
Well, if you're Jerry Kill, you just realize that 6 minutes into the game, the best thing your team has done is punt the football. So Michigan has the ball on offense for the second time. First time they had it, they went 80 yards for a score. 75 of the 80 yards were on the ground. Robinson fakes the handoff, wants to throw, has a man open. It is complete. Hopkins out of the backfield, and Stephen Hopkins crosses the 50.
These are scripted plays here by Al Borges, and you can tell by the layout and the design. He wants to get Denard Robinson comfortable throwing the ball. So what does he do? He calls a simple pop pass to his fullback. Again, Denard getting in rhythm, still evolving as a passer. Nice play call by Al Borges.
So both drives from Michigan starting the same way with passes. Devin Gardner again in the ball game for the second play of a drive. Robinson in the wing formation. And they fake it to Denard and they pitch it outside. This is Toussaint trying to get to the edge. He's dragged down, but not before he gets to the 32. Kyle Henderson the tackle, but a gain of 15.
And how calculated is this approach? We saw this play earlier. They gave it to Denard going right. This time, he's just simply a decoy. But because he's so good, everybody goes with him. It allows for Toussaint to outflank the defense. Beautiful fake by Gardner. Well-designed scheme.
Gardner didn't play in last week's game against San Diego State, but Brady Hoke getting him in early here in this one. Robinson fakes the handoff, wants to throw. Tons of time, throws a laser that is caught. Junior Hemingway with the grab inside the 20. Another gain of double digits. This one's 16 yards.
Well, Minnesota is last in the Big Ten Conference in terms of pass defense. Obviously, Michigan knows that, wanting to create some harmony with Robinson and his receivers. Good job outside. Great route, great timing. Junior Hemingway. And again, this is by design. They want to get Denard Robinson more comfortable throwing the football.
Last 8 plays for Michigan, 6 first downs and a touchdown. Right side, Shaw trying to get to the edge. Shaw, a couple of nice moves. He picks up 8 down to the 8. Gary Tinsley and Kyle Henderson on the tackle. But Michigan continues to do whatever they want.
And Shaw should go over and thank his old teammate Jeremy Gallon with an excellent block outside to spring him. Just a simple stretch play. And right now, everything is working to perfection for Michigan. Showing run-pass balance. We know that they're great at finishing drives in the red zone. Perfect on the season.
Folks, if you notice those numbers back on the side of the helmets for Michigan, same helmets they wore in that game against Notre Dame a couple of weeks ago. Face masks have changed, no longer gray, they're back to the blue. But the players really enjoyed those helmets with the numbers on the side, and they said, can we bring them back? Coaching staff said, sure. They're going to wear it the rest of the conference season, so I like that look.
That's a nice look.
That play loses a yard. It's going to bring up 3rd down and 3.
Yeah, this is where the D-line really has to step up for Minnesota. Create more pressure, beat one-on-one blocks, and harass Denard Robinson a bit.
3 receivers right side. 4 total in the ball game. Design quarterback run. Denard breaks a tackle and scores. Denard Robinson, another touchdown. His 6th rushing touchdown on the season. And Michigan, they've been close to flawless so far in this first quarter.
Denard Robinson calling his own number, that play audibling at the line.
Extra point. He is good. Now, one of the most difficult things to do in college football, tackle Denard Robinson in the open field. Aaron Hill couldn't do it, and results in 7 more Michigan points. Nine minutes into this one, it has been all Michigan Wolverines in the battle for the Little Brown Jug. A 14-0 lead over Minnesota.
Yeah, and you're going to see Michael Schofield fill in. He's going to get a nice pull-around seal block on the linebacker that's really going to spring it Here's it is right here. Beautiful shot. Opens up the lane for Denard Robinson. Good football intelligence by Robinson, checking into that play, shifting the running back over, and then finding the crease.
Kickoff into the wind. This one will not make it into the end zone. It is returnable. Malcolm Moulton on the return. And Moulton zigzags across the 40 and finally out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. Let's go to Dave Revson in the studio for Discover Card Game Break.
Eric, thanks as we get you updated on Northwestern and Illinois. Illini driving, but Nate Shieldhouse throws a pick. They're driving again, though, still scoreless.
Thanks, Dave. That is a grudge match. Two teams from Illinois, but not too pleased with each other's programs, Illinois and Northwestern.
Yeah, and something that you don't see very often, Shieldhouse throwing an interception.
Be curious to see how Dan Persa can play his first activity of the year. First down carry, pickup of 3 yards for Donnell Kirkwood. This is the battle for the Little Brown Jug. Let's take you back to 2003 and with our Case IH Alumni Spotlight. John Navarre leading a comeback. Here he catches a pass from Steve Breston in the second half of the game up at the Metrodome. And the comeback is on for Michigan. Later, Braylon Edwards would be able to haul in this 52-yard touchdown pass from Navarre. And the comeback continues. Touchdown, Chris Perry. Eventually, it was a 38-point second half for Michigan, and they won the ball game in comeback fashion, 38-35. And John Navarre is in the building today. We'll get a chance to talk to him in a moment. Eric Lair makes that catch. Gain of 5. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
That's a little snippet of what Shortell will give you if you don't have any familiarity with him. He's a big prototypical type quarterback, not fleet of foot, but if you give him time, he can make all the throws that you need him to make.
Minnesota just needs to stay on the field here. Kirkwood, the tailback. They give it to him. Some power running, and it doesn't work against that front wall for Michigan. It's a loss of a yard. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 3. What's the decision here with an 18-year-old quarterback?
Well, I think you got to punt it. You got a hot team in Michigan, and you're going to see Kovacs coming from the right side of the screen. He comes unabated, able to get down the line. But Michigan's defense, ever since the front 7 got called out by their defensive coordinator, Greg Madison, they've been playing with a sense of urgency and controlling and dominating in the trenches. And so far, they've continued to stay on pace.
So 4th down and 3, close to midfield. You can't go for it with a true freshman quarterback. Orseski will come on for his punt.
Delay. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Folks, that's probably by design. The wind is at the back of Minnesota. Jerry Kill knows it. Orseski's got a big leg. He showed it off with a 64-yarder a moment ago. This truly probably just giving him more room to operate on this punt.
Allow his guys to get down and cover, close up the run lanes.
Jeremy Gallen back deep for the Wolverines. Directional kick inside the 20, bounces at the 13, and it'll be down at the 15. 42-yard punt, no return. Timeout on the field when we come back. Wolverines on offense once again. Beautiful day to walk the campus. That's the Alumni Center here in Ann Arbor. Michigan, of course, home to many famous alums. How about the first American to walk in space, Edward White? 38th President of the United States, Gerald Ford. Voice of Darth Vader, James Earl Jones. Michigan believes there's probably 500,000 living alums worldwide.
All the fun facts.
Who knew? The Wolverines already over the century mark on the ground. This is their 3rd possession of the ball game, already 14 points. Robinson to throw on 1st down. Gallen has the ball, and Gallen out across the 25. He's pushed out of bounds moments ago. Deion Miller caught up with John Navarre.
right, John, well, 8 years ago, you were trailing 28-7 in the fourth quarter against Minnesota. What do you remember about conversations in the huddle and on the sidelines at that point?
Well, just confidence. I mean, we knew what we had to do. We kind of scrapped the game plan a little bit, went to a hurry-up 2-minute offense, and nobody panicked. We just stayed calm and kept chugging along. It was just a matter of time before we were going to, pull that game out.
Yeah, the greatest comeback in Michigan history, and you remain second all-time in this school in passing yards and attempts, completions, and touchdowns. What does it mean to you to be a part of football history here?
Well, it's special. I mean, you learn that when you come in the door to be a part of the tradition, and I'm just very fortunate to be a part of it. I had good people around me that taught me what it was about and how to accept it, and I'm just lucky to be back and still be a part of it.
Thanks, John. Eric?
Dion, thank you. John Navarre, one of many Michigan Wolverines over the years that have enjoyed dominating this rivalry. Run up the middle. This is Vincent Smith. Smith gets out to the 45-yard line, a pickup of 10. Look at these numbers career-wise for Navarre. Over 9,000 passing yards, second all-time in Michigan history. 72 touchdowns through the air.
Yeah, he was your prototype pocket passer. Big-time arm.
Comeback, he led Michigan over Minnesota in the battle for the Little Brown Jug. It's been done quite often. 36 of the last 39 games for the Little Brown Jug have been won by Michigan. Denard Robinson wants to run it, and Robinson gets out across the 45 to the 48. Let's send it back to Dave Revson in the studio for Discover Card Game Break.
Eric, we told you Illinois was driving, and they have cashed in. Nate Shieldhouse to A.J. Jenkins, his third touchdown of the year, 7-0 Illini over the Wildcats in Champaign.
Thanks, Dave. So the defense right now for Northwestern seems to be an issue.
They're up against an offense that's explosive, starting with Jenkins, one of the premier receivers in the Big Ten.
Third time today, Devin Gardner has checked in at quarterback. Gardner hands it off to Denard. Denard wants to throw it back to Gardner. And now Gardner wants to throw, but there's room in front of him. He gets out to the 50 before he is tackled by Gary Tinsley. A lot of razzle-dazzle, but it's only a gain of 2.
Well, Al Borges is going deep in the playbook we've seen already so far. Couple design reverses. Once again, we're going to have Denard Robinson. He's going to come this way. And then he's going to look to throw it back to Gardner, who then looks to throw it downfield, but it's not there. And because of the timing, he does the smart play, tucks it in, and gets what he can get. And they'll take it.
I think Gardner's going to be special before it's all said and done. Softball from just down the road in Detroit. Now back on the sideline, Denard Robinson out of the gun. Third down play. Denard hadn't missed a pass so far today. That continues. He is now 7 for 7. Hemingway, the catch in the run down to the 38-yard line. 12 more yards.
It's the little things with Denard Robinson. The detail, setting his feet, throwing through, judgment, trusting his eyes. Watch him here just mechanically poised, knows where he wants to go with the football, sets his feet and delivers a strike. This is part of the evolution process in terms of the passing game for Denard Robinson.
As great as Denard Robinson has been so far this year, it has been mainly what he has done with his legs. Passing just coming around. And once again, we're going to have Denard Robinson one out of those wings. Devin Gardner under center. Fourth time we've seen him do this. Fake the handoff. Gardner is going to run right side. He's going to get the first down and then some. Inside the 25, lowers the head, and he's out of bounds at the 23.
You know what this does, too? It forces future opponents, defensive coordinators, to have to think about these formations, these sets, the abilities of Devin Gardner. So we're going to see it here, just a confident running action. He's a big kid, but he's very fleet of foot, has all the athletic traits you look for. And right now, Michigan is just imposing their will on Minnesota, and it's starting with the job they've been doing in the trenches.
Toussaint in the backfield next to Denard Robinson. Denard throws. That's now 8 completions in a row. Junior Hemingway tackled at the 17-yard line. Pickup of 6.
And you notice these are simple throws. It's not challenging him, throwing a corner route or a comeback. Simple throws, building confidence. I like it.
Simple throws have resulted in some very interesting numbers for Michigan. Already a 14-0 lead as we head to quarter number 2.
The Big Ten Pulse, Monday and Friday on BTN.
Jerry Kill and his coaching staff for Minnesota up against it. They trail after 15 minutes. 14-0, and Michigan on the move once again. Close to a perfect first quarter for Michigan. No penalties, no sacks allowed, no giveaways. 3 for 3 on first down. And 2 touchdowns. Wow. Robinson pitch out, right side. Vincent Smith wants to throw, he's got a man wide open. Touchdown, Michigan, Drew Dillio. Michigan showing you why they're the 19th ranked team in the country, why they're a perfect 4-0. They are playing perfect football so far.
Everything's working, and some days when you wake up, put on your shoes, you just have it all working for you. And so far for Michigan, that seems to be the case.
Brendan Gibbons going to get tired kicking these extra points. So another long drive results in a touchdown, this time halfback pass. Vincent Smith showing off for the arm.
And showing off a great sell on the fake. Making it look as though he was going to run on the toss action. You see the bunch. When you're a defensive back, you are a pass defender first. Brock Vereen that time jumps the fake. Dillio wide open in the end zone.
Dillio's second touchdown catch of the season. Now today, the Icon Series returns. This time, a look at legendary coaches of the Big Ten Conference on the season premiere. How about we begin with Michigan's Bo Schembechler. Big Ten Icons presented by Discover. Today, immediately following the postgame show only on BTN. I think we need to talk to Glenn Mason. If you're a head coach and your name is Glenn, you need to give yourself a nickname. You got Glenn Bo Schembechler. You got Glenn Pop Warner. If only Glenn Mason, our guy in the studio, had a nickname.
Instead of Mace?
He had a wonderful career. Minnesota, Kansas. Low kickoff, bobbled at the 5, picked up. Moulton swarmed and dropped inside the 10. There is a flag down on the field.
Moulton returned the kickoff.
This is what you can't allow happen if you're Minnesota, to start getting lazy, change your demeanor.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 32 of the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal, first down.
We're gonna see it here. That's an easy call right in the middle of the screen. At that point, Eric, what you want to do is just throw your hands up.
Let's go down in the field. Dion Miller is standing by with someone who I'd imagine is very interested in what's going on in the field right now. Dion?
Oh, he is. I'm with Athletic Director Dave Brandon, and we were talking about the impact of Bo Schembechler. You played 3 seasons for him. What kind of an impact did he have on your life?
Well, Bo's had an impact on every player that ever played for him. He's an iconic figure. He's legendary, but most importantly, he was a great leader and taught us all a lot about football, but also a lot about life. There isn't a day at Michigan Athletics that doesn't go by without somebody referring to something Bo said or taught us.
Yeah, he's left a big imprint for sure. What do you see in any similarity between him and perhaps Brady Hoke?
Well, they both teach toughness. They're intense in terms of the way they prepare the team. We've hit more in practice this year than we have in years. They really stress defense, and they're loved by their players. They're respected by their players first, but the players love to play for Brady just like they love to play for Bo.
Well, you said you'd protect me here on the sidelines. I appreciate it. Maybe you could still play.
Well, I'll take care of you. I'll make sure you don't get hit down there.
Thanks so much, Dave. Eric.
Thanks, Dion Bennett with that carry, tackled by J.T. Floyd. And I I swear to you folks, we didn't coach him up. David Brandon said Bo Schembechler, an iconic figure. That was on his own doing right there. Just a reminder, immediately after the post-game show today on BTN, Big Ten Icons presented by Discover, Bo Schembechler, one of the legendary coaches.
And the best thing that David Brandon said, Eric, about Coach Schembechler is that his players loved him and they loved to play for him. And you get that sense here about Brady Hoke as well.
Yeah, the Gophers had picked up their first down on this drive. And now we're going to have a 3rd down and short. Craig Rowe comes in and blows up that play, tackling Kirkwood at the line of scrimmage.
You know, Rowe's an intriguing player. He's transformed his body from last season, putting on about 25 pounds. So that helps him in the run game. He's able to anchor Coach Greg Madison. Defensive coordinator loves that. And he knows that it starts with his front 7. They've been playing much better these last 2 weeks. And right now, they're owning that line of scrimmage.
Rowe actually leaves for this 3rd down play. He's replaced by Jabril Black, number 55, one of the ends. 3rd down and short, out of the gun. Pump fake, nothing doing. 2nd time today, the sack of Max Shortell. Jake Ryan, the redshirt freshman, got him.
Well, all quarterbacks hate to see pressure right in their face, particularly a freshman quarterback. Good job of just imploding inside, keep fighting. See the pressure, and look at the penetration. He has nowhere to go with the football, reminding you folks, he's a young player that's having to learn on the go, not the environment that you want to do that in.
Greg Madison's Wolverine defense had a hard time getting pressure on the quarterback so far this year. Just 4 sacks coming into this game. They've already got 2 sacks here in our first half. Fair catch called for and made by Jeremy Gallen at the 31-yard line. When we come back, Michigan has the ball their 4th time on offense. This is the Michigan drum line earlier today, and it has been an exceedingly difficult week for the Michigan marching band. They lost one of their own earlier this week in a car accident. You can see the black armband. The guys in the Michigan marching band, Patrick Fleming, passed away earlier this week on Monday morning. We will have more on Patrick Fleming at halftime. Wolverines on offense for the 4th time. They have already scored 3 touchdowns. First down carry, Fitzgerald, Toussaint into the secondary, and Toussaint across the 50, spun down at the 44, but another big chunk of yards, 24 more for Fitzgerald Toussaint.
And you hear the term straight line runner all the time, and what that means, you're going to see just a little wraparound here. And watch him once he gets through the hole. Once he squares up, he's got a burst. He's a track guy, so you know he can run. It gets difficult for him here, though, to make moves in a short area.
Second run of 20 or more yards for Toussaint. Denard wants to throw. Safe pass again. Hemingway with the catch. Let's send it to Dave Revson in the studio for Discover Card Game Break.
Eric, Northwestern is on the board against Illinois, and Cats fans have waited a long time to hear this. Dan Persa to Drake Dunsmore. It is 7-7 in Champaign.
Thanks, Dave. Good to see Dan Persa out playing again. He is one of the most dynamic players in all of college football.
Yeah, and he's coming off of a very tough injury with the Achilles. Nice to see him back out there.
Another dynamic player, Denard Robinson. This time he is going to hand off. Stephen Hopkins with the carry. There is flags down on the field. Gary Tinsley made the tackle, but we'll have to sort this one out.
This is
Offside, number 93, defense, 5-yard penalty, resolve the penalty, first down.
They call that penalty on Ben Perry, one of the many freshmen that has been forced to play this year for Jerry Kill's Minnesota Golden Gophers.
Yeah, and once again, you're going to see just a self-inflicted wound. He's right there. He's got to have good vision on the football. It's a young rookie mistake.
So now Perry on the sideline thinking about it, as it's another first down for Michigan. Toussaint, another carry. Inside the 30 to the 28, a pickup of 4. BTN introduces BTN Live Big, the initiative to recognize and inspire community service efforts throughout the Big Ten and the world. To live big is to find a cause that you're passionate about and do something about it. Don't miss the season premiere of BTN Live Big, hosted by former Michigan Wolverine Dhani Jones. Presented by Buick. That's today, 4:30 Eastern Time, only on BTN.
Timeout. Michigan. First charge. Timeout.
You could make the argument, folks, that's the first thing that Brady Hope would have to quibble about so far in this ball game. They're forced to call a timeout. Back to the Big House in a moment. Second quarter action, Michigan on top of Minnesota 21-0 with my partner Chris Martin. I'm Eric Collins. As you guys may be able to see, we're both wearing pins today in honor of BTN Live Big, new show hosted by Dhani Jones.
Yeah, former Michigan guy.
It is airing today, first time, 4:30 in the afternoon. That's going to be following our ball game right here. We've got a game that so far has been all Michigan. Dhani Jones got to be loving it. Defense has played well. The offense has been fantastic. And now Denard Robinson wants to throw the other side of the field, and it's working real well. Vincent Smith, touchdown, Michigan. Vincent Smith already today has rushed for a touchdown. He's passed for a touchdown. He has now caught a touchdown. What more can you ask for?
Oh, doing it on all cylinders, as is that offense. Everything seems to be working.
The lefty, Brendan Gibbons, now 4 for 4 in extra points. And the lead swells to 28-0 Michigan over Minnesota.
Well, you knew it's an explosive offense, but you just think they're doing a good job of scheming. You're going to see he's just going to come here, get outside, and Denard knows exactly where he wants to go. I mean, it's a great screenplay, good call. But look at the blocking down the field, the effort, the hustle to get bodies on the ground. See it there. That's excellent play. That's something that you can't coach here. And I think that has been one of the critical differences with this Michigan team. They play with great effort, they never take plays off, and they finish. Evidence in that play.
All right, Chris, walk me through this. It's a windy day, winds out to 22 miles per hour. Denard Robinson came into this game a 48% passer. He's 10 for 10 here in the first half.
Well, it's been simple throws, though, right? So you're getting him comfortable. Nothing down the field, nothing vertically. Just check down drops, allow him to get in rhythm. It's by design. And I think Al Borges has been masterful to that point, because now you're getting a confident thrower in Denard Robinson to go along with his fancy footwork.
Matt Weil kicks it off. Spinning kick into the end zone. And it'll be a touchback. Well, coming into today's game, this is how Denard Robinson himself compared to the entire Minnesota Golden Gophers offense. Had just 5 fewer rushing yards. Remember, Denard leading all of college football, at least the FBS level, in rushing yards. Close to it in passing yards. He has just been fantastic this year, but I guess you could also make the statement that Minnesota's offense has not been as good as Jerry Kill would have liked.
Right, and it's still work in progress, and the problem is when your offense stubs its toe, it puts your defense back out on the field. They wear down because of how explosive Michigan's offense is.
There are multiple fouls on the play. Personal foul, number 29 of the kicking team. Personal foul, number 32 of the receiving team. Those will offset. First down, Minnesota.
The one thing you know about Jerry Kill is his edict is discipline. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. He is always coaching his guys to do the right thing.
Look at the numbers so far today. Bottom line, first downs, just 1 for Minnesota, 15 already for the Wolverines. Handoff on first down. This is David Cobb getting his first carry. He gains 7 yards. So already we've seen Cobb, Bennett, and Kirkwood carry the football. We've also seen Devin Wright try a speed sweep.
Timeout.
Man down on the field. Looks to be Malcolm Bolton, who's hopping off the field.
He's their sophomore wide receiver. And he's critical in this pass game. Yeah, you can see it right here. Gets rolled up on from behind. Probably going to retape that ankle to give him more support.
On second down, Shortell in trouble. He's already gone down twice, make it 3 times. Wolverines have sacked him 3 times. This time, Jabril Black and others credited with the sack and a loss of 9 yards.
And just lack of feel, lack of experience in the pocket. When you're a quarterback, you have to feel the pocket reduction. And this just can't be fun. He has men in his face as soon as he looks up. Eric, remember, young quarterbacks, they have to see the pressure. They can't feel it. And that's what happened on that play with Shortell.
Max Shortell, true freshman from a suburb of Kansas City, Kansas. He is 18 years, and he's getting the start today in front of 110,000 fans at the Big House. Juan Bennett with the carry. Wrapped up after a gain of 4. It's going to bring up 4th down, and the punt unit will have to come on. It's important to remember that Jerry Kill didn't want to start Shortell today. He was forced to start him because Marquise Gray, the junior from Indianapolis, he's got a bad toe, just physically can't make it happen today.
Well, for an adept runner like Gray is, he has to have those feet all clicking. So when you look at it, he couldn't push off, probably can't change direction, but when he has to throw, it's tough to push off. They want to rest him. They have Purdue next week, and they go into a bye.
Seski, his kick not so great, and it's going to get even worse. Man, this guy had a 64-yard punt in the first quarter. That was with the wind, going into the wind, or Seski gets off a 14-yard punt. So the Wolverines, who are firing on all cylinders, are going to have great field position. BTN gives you an all-access pass to Big Ten campuses for a 48-hour tour of traditions, pageantry, and game day excitement in and around Big Ten stadiums. This Thursday we'll recap the 48 hours leading up to tonight's Big Ten showdown between Nebraska and Wisconsin on the series premiere of Tailgate 48, presented by Omaha Steaks. That's Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern on BTN. Already 4 touchdowns for Michigan, and flag is down on this one. Toussaint, he's going to score, but this is probably going to come back. If it holds, it's a 37-yard touchdown for Toussaint, but it looks to be against the Michigan Wolverines, the penalty.
Holding, number 65, offense. 10-yard penalty, repeat, first down.
Michigan's first penalty.
And that's going to negate a run, but once again, Toussaint showing quickness here, and you're going to see it's just going to be right in here. Collapse block down, gets those hands outside. That's an easy call. But for Minnesota's defense, yes, they've been called on quite often this game, but they got to get some punches back in this fight. You look to your seniors to step up. Somebody's got to make a play.
Robinson wants to throw. Throws it up for grabs. Incomplete. That's his first incompletion, and there are flags down. He was looking for junior Hemingway. Hemingway covered by Brock Marine, but there was some pushing and shoving going on.
Well, I talked to defensive coordinator of Minnesota, Coach Clays, about Denard's ability to throw the football, and he said he's better on his deep throws. You know, he likes to throw a lot of jump balls, give his receivers a chance to go make a play.
Pass interference, number 9, defense. 15-yard, previous spot, automatic, first down.
So wipe the incompletion off the books. Denard Robinson still 10 for 10.
Yeah, they won on this play at Michigan because they got the penalty call, but that was not a good play, though, by Denard. He's got to be a little smarter than that. He threw that one off his back foot and really just tossed it in the air. So far, he's looked mechanically sound. You don't want to see him regress.
So a fresh set of downs for the Wolverines. Michael Shaw with the carry, and Shaw rips off another big gainer for Michigan inside the 15 down to the 14. Deanne, what's going on over there in the Minnesota sideline?
Well, Eric, a lot of teaching has been going on this sideline throughout the game so far. And earlier this season, Jerry Kill said that this team doesn't even know how to win. We have to teach them each step of the way, steps 1 through 10, before we can reach that goal of consistently winning. And I heard Chris say that somebody's got to make a play. That's certainly been the message on this sideline. They say, focus, keep your head up, and try to execute. Eric.
Thank you, Deanne. Another carry for Shaw. He gets inside the 10. This is a coaching staff Jerry Kill has been with for a long time. His coaching staff has followed him from Northern Illinois, from Southern Illinois, from Emporia State. They have done this before. They've taken over programs that didn't have the type of talent that they probably would have liked. They've taken over teams that have struggled in recent years with not having that winning mentality, and each and every time Jerry Kill's staff has made something of these teams.
Well, it's a paradigm of loyalty, and loyalty is something that you simply don't find in the college football landscape in terms of coaches. Clearly his coaches have had other opportunities, but it speaks to how well he treats them.
Play fake. Robinson completes it to his tight end. Koger is tackled at the 10-yard line. Good open field tackle made. Christian Lewis with the stop.
We talked to the coaching staff about, the guys staying together with Coach Kill, and they said that, Eric. They said he's so fair with them. They said he's a demanding coach when he gets on the field, but off the field, he's just one of their guys. I think they just love to be around him. He has an infectious personality.
And he gets results. Everywhere he has been, he and his coaching staff have molded winning programs. Now a chance to get off the field and at least force a field goal. Third down. Robinson flagged down on the field, and Denard's going to be held up short. We'll have to figure out that penalty, but the golden goal for defense actually stops Michigan for the first time.
Holding number 50, offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. We'll repeat. Third down.
I'm a little bit surprised that they would take the penalty. Why not just fourth down? While we have
Correction.
a moment.
Minnesota has declined the penalty. It'll be fourth down.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. While we have a moment, here's the Auto Owners Insurance defense for Minnesota. This is the 11 that started the game. Michael Amephalon, true freshman, getting a start today just because the coaching staff thinks he can really rush the passer. Gary Tinsley, normally the playmaker in the middle. And in the secondary, Troy Stoudemire didn't even make the trip, one of their corners. That means that Kyle Henderson, transfer from Minnesota State Mankato, he is getting the majority of the reps at one of the corners. So, because the result of the play was not a first down.
This is the correct fourth down.
The penalty is declined, and now we're going to have a field goal attempt at 25 yards for Brendan Gibbons. So a small victory, I guess, for Minnesota. They keep the Wolverines out of the end zone, but 3 more points put on the board. It is a 31-0 lead for the Wolverines. The Buick Human Highlight Reel celebrates former NCAA athletes doing great things in their community. Let's take a look at one of those stories now. Second quarter action here at the Big House. 31-0 lead. Michigan on top of Minnesota in the battle for the Little Brown Jug. This is the oldest trophy game. Football Bowl subdivision. First time they played for the Little Brown Jug, 1909. And Wild kick it off. He's got the wind at his back. Marcus Jones on this return. And Jones is stuck at the 20-yard line. Nice tackle made on special teams. Josh Furman with the special teams tackle.
Michigan playing well in all phases of the game, offensively, defensively. Great form tackle, exploding through contact, running his feet. It's exactly how you teach it.
Marquise Gray Jr. from Indianapolis was actually out on the field warming up beginning of today, but he was not able to go. Told the coaching staff, you know what, it just is not going to work. So Max Shortell, true freshman from Shawnee Mission, Kansas, getting his first start in front of 110,000. Design rollout, right side. It's complete. Dejan McKnight with the catch. Pickup of 8 yards.
And really, to Shortell's defense, they could practice a lot of, situations, but until you come in here and be involved in this environment, this element, it is tough on him mentally between the ears, and you're playing a hot defense.
What can Jerry Kill and his offensive coordinator Matt Linegrover do to try and make him more comfortable and more effective?
Well, it's going to start with the offensive line. They have to step up and give him more time.
Incomplete, looking for the tight end Eric Lair. That incompletion is going to bring up a 3rd down. There's a flag down in the defensive backfield.
The problem for Minnesota's offensive line is that the defensive line's playing so well for Michigan and with a great deal of confidence.
Pass interference, number 7, defense. 15-yard, automatic, first down.
Brandon Hawthorne called for bumping into Eric Lair.
Well, he's going to be on the left side of the screen right here. And Lair is an adept receiver in the pass game. He gets that arm bar out, impedes his route. It's a fair call. It's a fair call.
So that's going to give Minnesota just their 2nd first down. Marcus Jones, the man in motion. They get it to Jones, and it slips right through the fingertips. That's the first incompletion we have had for either side today. Both teams have combined for 15 for 15 passing. Shortell is now 3 for 4.
And if you're a receiver for Minnesota, you're going to have to work for your quarterback. You know that the balls aren't going to be spot on. And when you have your opportunities, you got to make it count. What's the key? Give him short throws, quick throws.
John Rabe, tight end, moves from right to left. And the pass is complete. Dejan McKnight steps out of bounds. 4:25 to play here in our first half.
Dejan McKnight's one of my favorite receivers in the Big Ten. I think he's an extraordinary wide receiver, very detailed in his routes, finds the sticks. He's their big play threat. He's one of those guys, though, that you got to get him involved in the game early. Sometimes for seniors, it's tough when you have a young quarterback in, developing the harmony. Nice job of moving the chains there.
Minnesota has completed 4 passes. 3 of them have been to McKnight. He's got 3 catches for 31 yards. Bennett trying to get to midfield. He's stopped by Kenny Demmons. Revisit some of our factors in play today. Minnesota has not made it across midfield, threatening to do so right now. And the offense for the Wolverines just has been undaunted.
Well, you can't coach experience, and so these guys just have to learn on the go. A lot of youth, a lot of inexperience. Coach Kill knows that, and they're just going to have to improve with each rep.
2nd down at 10. Tight end in motion once again. Shortell, his longest throw of our game, and it is incomplete. Good defense played by Blake Countess, true freshman corner, who's gotten a lot of playing time over the last 2 weeks.
I like the call, though, and I like the fact that he was willing to pull the trigger and take a chance down the field in Shortell, because you have to loosen up that defense. Here, now watch. This is what he's going to do. Stand tall in the pocket. He looks down the barrel, takes a shot.
Oh, man.
shows some toughness. Hey, this is a young guy that's standing up. He knows he's going to get smashed, but he shows toughness to stand in there and deliver down the field.
Will Campbell getting a lick there on Shortell. Passing situation complete. Ball loose on the ground. It's going to be Michigan football. It's a completion and a fumble recovered by Carvin Johnson.
Ball security, ever so important. Just good habits. Protect the football. Time Green does a good job of pulling the ball in. But what you want to do is rake the hands. Nice job by Countess getting the ball out of there. Calling on the cavalry to recover the fumble. Another sudden change here for Minnesota's defense.
Appeared to be a great call on the field. A catch, a fumble, and a recovery by Michigan. Toussaint with the carry, crosses over the 50, tackled by Kyle Henderson. It's a gain of 8. Stay tuned, everybody, for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Dave, Jerry, Howard, and Glenn will be along from our Chicago studios. Scores and highlights. Busy day around the Big Ten.
A lot of good games today.
Chris, for the first time, divisional play in the Big Ten. This game is a battle of the Legends division. Means that Michigan and Minnesota committed to playing each other every year. Everyone in each division plays each other, and then there's a designated crossover game and 2 other games that you will play against your other division.
Yeah, also means that every game within your division is of critical importance. You want to get to the big dance in Indianapolis.
Number of conference games hasn't changed. You play 8 in the Big Ten championship game. Coming up on the 2-minute mark. Michigan has scored every time they've had the football. 4 touchdowns and a field goal. Robinson, incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Coger.
Good job, though, Minnesota, creating some pressure on Denard. And what you don't want him to do is start getting lazy. Don't set his feet, throwing the ball sidearm. It's important for Denard, who's still in the development stage, to work on every single snap.
Look at the top of your screen. That was the first incompletion for Denard Robinson. 11 for 12. Already over 100 yards. Vincent Smith has been huge today. Rushing touchdown, a receiving touchdown, and a passing touchdown. Here is Vincent Smith with the carry. It's going to be short of the first down marker, but just by about a half yard. Kim Royston with the tackle, a pickup of 8.
Vincent Smith is a great change of pace back.
Michigan calls timeout. We'll take it with them. 1:42 remaining, first half. Some of the things going on here in Ann Arbor. How about the newest fixture of the Michigan Medical Campus, the C.S. Mott Children's and Von Portlander Women's Hospitals. Currently the largest construction project in the state of Michigan. It's got a budget of $754 million. Slated to open next month, and how about this? It's going to open up a full year ahead of schedule. 3rd down and 2 after the timeout. And now a timeout.
Timeout, Minnesota. First charge, timeout. 30-second timeout.
All right, you've been in these situations before, Chris. What was the situation there with Jerry Kill?
Well, he just wants to make sure that his guys are lined up. They're going to play hard and get into halftime, make some adjustments to see if they can stop the bleeding. And I've played in a lot of games like this in the early days at Northwestern, early 90s, and you just have to make sure that you keep playing the next play. And it's easy to say that when you look up at the scoreboard, but you bond together, you lean on your seniors for leadership, and you just try and make a play.
Jerry Kill replacing Tim Brewster from a year ago. His team just 1-3. A couple of disappointing losses against New Mexico State, last week against North Dakota State, but we talked to him and, you know, he said, we're going to get this thing done. There's no disappointment here. We have a plan. This works. Everywhere we've been transparent. We have open practices. People can see the improvement we're making week in and week out. Trying to get a stop on third down. They can't do it defensively. Toussaint picks up 3 when he needed 2. First down, Michigan.
Well, and I believe Coach Kill with absolute certainty. He's been good everywhere he's been. He's always true to his beliefs and how he executes and does things. But it's going to take time.
Robinson wants to throw. Over the middle, it is complete. Dilio, who had a touchdown earlier in this quarter, picks up 6 to bring up 2nd down and 4. Now the Wolverines in hurry-up mode. Robinson doesn't take much to get him out of the pocket. He gets inside the 20, down to the 18 before he is hit hard. Gain is 7, but he paid the price.
Yeah, he did. And Eric, when you look at Denard Robinson's game, there's so many question marks about his ability to throw. I think he's answered some of those in the first half. You know, been sound with the football, very judicious, not making a lot of mistakes, taking what the defense is given, and executing in the pass game.
Looks left, it is incomplete. Tight end Cover looked like he may have been hit the moment the ball touched his hands. Gary Tinsley was draped all over him. Nothing but an incompletion.
And not a bad throw, though. Out in front, which is where you want, away from the defense. He lays out, can't pull it in. But Cover's one of those hybrid guys that they love to move around and get the football in his hands. He's a big body tight end, but he's not an end-of-line tight end. He's a guy that, you know, you'll see on a lot of seam routes.
53 seconds left. Michigan has a timeout to work with. Dilio bobbles it. Did he hang on? No, incomplete.
Robinson's pass incomplete.
It takes 4 seconds off the clock.
You hear coaches all the time say catch it clean or catch it the first time. Well, that's what applies to this on Dilio. See, if he catches this the first time and doesn't bobble it, easily he's in bounds. But when you re-catch it, you know, you run the risk of not possessing it before you go out of bounds. That's another well-thrown ball. Outside, away from the defender.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. The play is under further review.
The key is, does he possess the football? He's juggling it there. He gets control of it, but where does he get control? Is his foot already on the white line?
I think the replay official is also going to look, when he hits the ground, look like the ball may have shifted a bit in his midsection.
Bottom line is you got to catch it right there. But he's juggling it. He has it looking. Feet right there. Appears to me that the ball's still moving around as he goes to the ground. It was a good call by the officials on the field.
And you got the technology, you might as well use it, so they take a little bit longer to make sure that call is correct. The call on the field, incomplete. You need indisputable video evidence to overturn. And I think we're going to have a verdict pretty soon.
After review, the ruling is confirmed. Incomplete pass. 4th down.
That's the way you do it. Video confirming the call on the
Correction,
field.
3rd down.
So it's 3rd down and 10.
Denard likely to get another chance to put this ball in the air. Work on his skill set. He's been an effective passer. Look for 86 Koger. We mentioned how active he is in the pass game.
Roy Roundtree hasn't caught a pass so far today. He's number 12, bottom of your screen. Over the middle, just how you called it, Chris. Kevin Koger, touchdown, Michigan. junior from Toledo, his second receiving touchdown of the year, makes it a 37-0 lead for Michigan pending this extra point.
Now, Michigan always loves to utilize their tight ends. He's sort of a security blanket for Robinson. Great job of finding him and finishing another wonderful drive.
Gibbons his 5th extra point of the first half, and it is a 38-0 lead for the Wolverines. 5 touchdowns by 4 different guys for Michigan. They're up big. Michigan on top of Minnesota 38-0, 45 seconds left here in the first half. Kevin Koger, touchdown reception just a moment ago.
Well, yeah, and oftentimes battles are won right at the line. You're going to see Koger with a great jab step, and then he's able to get Cooper in a trail position. One at the line. Good job of finding him by Robinson. You got to get better misdirection by Cooper.
So Michigan will kick it off to Minnesota. Gophers will have one last chance here in this first half. Ball goes into the end zone. It'll be a touchback. Devin Wright had the ball sail right over his head.
Being down 38 points does not give you the hall pass to play sloppy football and lack discipline, and that'll be the message, no doubt, that Coach Kill delivers to his squad. Still have to come out and compete and play hard and play smart football.
Minnesota has struggled in recent years, but one thing that they always knew and could count on was the fact that they were going to have steady quarterback play. Adam Weber, a 4-year starter up in Minneapolis. But right now, with the graduation of Weber and the injury now to Gray, having a hard time at the quarterback spot. Good gain on first down. Duwan Bennett scoots out of bounds. That'll stop the clock after a gain of 13.
Yeah, and I want to see more of Bennett, particularly in the second half. He's sort of their bell cow running back, the guy that they like to give the ball to. Does a nice job of getting out on the perimeter.
With the stoppage of the clock, Shortell can huddle his guys up, get the play from the sideline, and start from under center. Another handoff. I think this is probably the good play with an 18-year-old quarterback already down 38-0. Head back to the locker room.
Head back to the locker room. Get your guys up. Look on your seniors for leadership. And recognize that you have another half of football to come out and compete. Brady Hoke has to like what he's seen today. The offensive dexterity, a quarterback who's been sound in the field general. Defense that's playing lights out, continuing that trend. It's the Michigan team playing with great effort.
Look at this. Before heading into the locker room, Jerry Kill, he's going to use this as a teaching moment. His team is down 38-0 after 30 minutes. He has plenty to talk about.
He's always coaching, Eric. That's what I love about Coach Kill.
Minnesota will have the ball first in the second half. All right, time to catch a little break here in Ann Arbor. Stay tuned for the Buffalo Wild Wings halftime report. Dave, Jerry, Howard, and Glenn are coming up next. Our halftime score, 38-0 Michigan. Big Ten Network football presented by the United States Marine Corps. The 19th ranked Michigan Wolverines, showing you why they're ranked so highly. 38-0 over Minnesota in this battle for the Little Brown Jug. Time now for our first half highlights. Chris, what do you have?
Well, it started with Denard Robinson as a polished passer, but what I loved is he's doing the little things. He's setting his feet, mechanically sound, keeping his eyes down the field, and his ball distribution has been great. He's getting a lot of people involved, got that big tight end Koger into the action. So Denard continues to grow and develop as a polished passer.
Both teams have made it out of their locker rooms and are now back onto the field getting loose. Deion Miller standing by on the sideline. Deion.
Well, Eric, I just spoke with Minnesota head coach Jerry Kill, and I asked him, what did you tell your team at halftime with the score as lopsided as it is? And he said, I told them what everyone has seen. Bottom line, we are being physically and mentally manhandled on this field. He told them the things that make him the most frustrated is the mental mistakes, the undisciplined things, the penalties, things that he cannot stand as a head coach. He's hopeful that they can clean those things up in the second half. As for Brady Hoke, you say, we haven't seen that many mistakes. He found a few. He was unhappy with the penalties that Michigan had before they kicked that field goal. He said he'd like to clean those things up. I asked him, how do you keep them focused when they're ahead by this much? He said, we are about to find out. Eric.
Thank you, Deion. Well, Michigan was able to score into the wind. They're able to score with the wind at their back. Really didn't do a whole heck of a lot wrong, and you can see with these 5-hour energy first half stats how lopsided things were.
Yeah, and finishing drives is the key, and they continue to play well when they get inside the red zone and cap it off with touchdowns.
Actually going a little bit beyond those numbers that you saw right there, which are already lopsided. Michigan, in terms of their balance, they already have 5 guys with at least 15 yards rushing. They've got 7 players that have caught a pass. 4 different players have scored touchdowns. And they've got close to 200 yards both of rushing and passing.
Lots of variety. I expect that we'll see a lot of Devin Gardner under center for the second half.
You saw a shot of Gardner with the headset on. There's Denard Robinson. Denard actually stepped away 4 different plays and let Devin Gardner take the snap as the quarterback in the first half, just kind of designed plays. And Al Borges, the offensive coordinator, wanted to get a look at against this Minnesota defense, trying to incorporate Devin Gardner, who is a big-time talent, into the offense. All right, good news for Minnesota. They're going to start with the ball here in this second half. It's going to be a moment before we do it. The ball has been knocked off the tee. We've been playing with consistent winds of about 20-mile-an-hour winds. Deion, what's the latest down on the field?
Yeah, well, the wind continues to swirl. It has warmed up a little bit, but that wind has been really rough at times. Some gusts that are pretty severe, obviously knocking the ball off the tee right there. So that's something they'll have to contend with, both teams here in the second half.
And the wind looks to be going north to south, basically left to right on your TV screen at home. So Matt Weil will kick with the wind at his back. Not going to make it even to the 10-yard line. So opportunity for Marcus Jones to return it, and he gets out across the 30. So good starting field position for the Minnesota Golden Gophers and their young quarterback, Max Shortell.
It's interesting that we talked about the wind, because Shortell obviously going to have to put the ball in the air, and he's going to be thrown into the teeth of the wind. So you wonder how that's going to affect his ball delivery.
Minnesota, average starting field position in the first half, their own 21, not making it easy on this true freshman from Shawnee Mission, Kansas.
The key is to get him lathered up. Short throws, easy throws, before you go for the home run ball.
3 receivers right now in the ball game for Minnesota. Shortell goes left side looking for McKnight, who is out of bounds. Chris, you played in Big Ten venues when windy conditions were all around. How different is it playing in a game when there's winds up to 20 miles per hour for offensive players and defensive players?
The toughest thing is tracking the ball. I mean, especially when you're going to put the ball with a lot of air under it, as we just saw there. You got to really find it in the air, locate it, which is difficult for the receivers. It's also difficult for the defensive backs who have to play the ball in.
David Cobb now in at tailback. Snap is fumbled, but it goes right to Cobb. A little bit of serendipity. And Cobb, the true freshman, barrels across the 40 for a 7-yard gain. Not the way it was designed.
No, but it did have a successful outcome. The other thing about Minnesota, Eric, to point out is that, you know, this offense has to stay on the field to give the defense a rest. Their defense was called out much of the first half. Got to keep Michigan's offense on the sideline.
Third down. Caught in the flat, but not enough for the first down. Colin McGarry is dragged down right after the catch by Craig Rowe.
Well, Rowe's showing you why he's a little bit of a hybrid at that defensive end, sort of outside linebacker type position, able to get down outside, track down the receiver in the flats, showing athleticism to go with his ideal size.
So the punt team will be sent out by Jerry Kill. Dan Orseski was a busy man in the first half. 4 punts for a 41-yard average, including a long of 64. This one into the wind is going to be held up. Drew Dillio calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 26-yard line. A punt of 32 yards. Now, the last time that Minnesota won against Michigan, 2005, right here at the Big House, Ernie Wheelwright, 20-yard touchdown catch. Gary Russell, big gain down the right side. Eventually, a Jason Giannini field goal would win it, and the Little Brown Jug back to Minneapolis for the first time since 1986. This rivalry has been one-sided in favor of the Wolverines. First down carry, Fitzgerald Toussaint gains a couple of yards. Well, how about we hear from the man who's the head coach for Minnesota back in 05, Glenn Mason.
Michigan game 2005 seems like only yesterday. You know, we hadn't had that jug in a long time. We came close the previous 2 years, and when we finally got it, I wouldn't let it out of my control. I took it in the locker room, talked to the team, sat right next to me on the plane on the way back. I got off the plane, I put it in my car. I met my wife downtown Minneapolis at Manny's Steakhouse, and she says, "You got to take it in the restaurant." I said, "I can't take the jug in the restaurant." Well, she talked me into it. When I walked in, the place went wild, and as we were sitting having dinner, everybody came around and wanted to get their picture taken with it, and all of a sudden, my life flashed right before me. I looked up, and there was a gentleman holding the jug up with one hand and a martini glass in the other, and I thought, oh my gosh, if he drops that, I'm dead. But it seems like yesterday.
That's great stuff. Hey, why not? Little Brown Jug actually was first purchased in 1903 by the Michigan team when they were in Minneapolis. They just wanted some water that they knew wasn't going to be contaminated. They were a little bit paranoid. They bought it for 30 cents. Something purchased for 30 cents over 100 years ago is now so cherished and valued. On third down, incomplete. Trying to get the ball to Junior Hemingway. That's going to be a 3 and out. Here in Michigan, they call those turkeys. 3 duds in a row. So it's their first 3 and out, and the punt team will have to come on for the first time. This gives us an opportunity to look at Will Hagerup. Will Hagerup, the punter, his first punt of the year. He was suspended for the first 4 games of the year, violation of team rules, but he is now back in good stead with the team, and he'll be punting with the wind at his back. Brandon Green back deep. Line drive. It is caught on the move. Flag is down. And Green tripped up as he crosses the 50. Good return if it holds up.
Good job of Green securing the catch first and foremost, making the first defender miss and then getting down the sideline.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 13 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down. Timeout.
Well, penalties continue to hurt Minnesota. That is now their 6th in today's game. Both Minnesota and Michigan have had a possession here in the second half. Neither able to do much on offense. Max Shortell, true freshman quarterback under center. First down and 10. Play fake. Wants to throw, throws on the move, and throws high.
Eric, on that last penalty, for all the young players watching, the simple rule is right here, if you can read the name on the back of the jersey, do not block the player. Just slide off, throw your hands up in the air. Costly penalty, and as Dion reported earlier, those are the things that are just driving Coach Kill mad.
Minnesota, they've committed 6 penalties. 4 of those penalties have been on special teams. Second down run. Bennett picks up 2. Now this Michigan defense has been really good so far in the game.
Well, it starts with up front. They've been stout against the run. Virtually no run lanes for Minnesota to exploit. So it puts Minnesota behind the chains where they have to throw the football. And of course, they got 3 sacks today. But when you look at this Michigan defense, they've only had 4 sacks on the year coming into this game, 3 today. They continue behind Coach Greg Madison to excel, particularly in the front 7.
And they've been really good on third downs. They have not allowed Minnesota to convert to third down. Gophers are 0 for 6 on third. Here's a third down pass. Laying it out, incomplete. Pass looked nice, just a little bit too strong. Looking for Dejon McKnight, and McKnight is in pain. It was Carvin Johnson who ran into McKnight, and McKnight's still down on the ground. We'll take a timeout. Back to the Big House in a moment. Moments ago, Dejon McKnight able to get up and run off the field for Minnesota. That was nice to see. Punt by Orseski, fair caught by Drew Dilio. 41-yard punt, no return.
We're going to see it right here. He's just extending for the ball. It was a good job by Carvin Johnson getting over the top. It was actually the right read by Shortell. It was just great range over the top by Carvin Johnson.
McKnight, their big play guy, 3 catches, 31 yards. It's kind of hard when you're playing with a guy who's a true freshman quarterback who doesn't have a lot of time in today's game.
Yeah, very well said. And sometimes it just challenges the receivers to stay into the game when they know they've been limited as such.
Robinson hands it off. Michael Shaw, who is tackled from behind right at midfield. Gain of 5. Ben Perry on the tackle.
I think Brady Hoke wants to see another good series by Denard Robinson before he pulls him out and inserts Devin Gardner, but I suspect that Gardner's going to be coming in soon. That's why they teach you to grab cloth. You grab cloth and hold on till the cavalry comes. Could have been a lot worse.
Shaw still in the game next to Robinson. Give it to him again, this time off of left tackle, and Shaw with room to move. Inside the 40, down to the 36.
Michael Shaw, the ball carrier.
Brock Vereen, the corner, with the tackle, but it's a gain of 14 yards.
Minnesota just continues to lack technique and fundamentals and discipline. Not fitting up the way you're supposed to, letting the ball get outside, and it's easy for Michigan to exploit. Minnesota's got to play better sound defense.
Jeremy Jackson into the game, moves in motion. Out of the backfield, Kevin Koger, the tight end, stiff arm, still on his feet inside the 20. Big fellow rumbles forward. 17 more yards for Michigan.
Koger showed you his upper body strength.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, number 57, defense. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Aaron Hill called for the personal foul.
Making a bad situation worse, but look at Koger. We talked about how active he is in the pass game as a tight end. Look at his upper body strength here, Eric, as he just shoots out the stiff arm to Manuel to get extra yardage.
So Michigan back in the red zone where they have been perfect so far this year. Wraparound handoff to Shaw, and Michael Shaw down to the 1.
Michael Shaw,
8 yards for the senior from Trotwood, Ohio.
Well, Michigan has a cadre of backs that all are very capable runners. We've seen Toussaint Vincent Smith having a big day, and Michael Shaw continues to work.
Shaw was actually the guy who was the leading ground gainer for Michigan. The last time these two schools met, it was back in 2008. He rushed for a team high 71 yards. See that Shaw was a little bit short of the goal line. Toussaint now in the backfield. Power formation, and Toussaint, did he get in? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Michigan. More the same for Brady Hoke and the Wolverines.
Toussaint, he's a track guy. That looked a little bit like a long jump. And I suspect that'll be the last we see Denard Robinson.
6 touchdowns for Michigan by 5 different players. Only man who scored twice, Vincent Smith, and he scored in a variety of ways. Vincent Smith, a rushing touchdown and a receiving touchdown. Fitzgerald Toussaint, touchdown number 4 on the year, 45-0 Michigan. $45-0 is our score. Michigan over Minnesota. Who's hungry? What? Hot dogs, a pretzel maybe? A hamburger? Why not? Probably hard to eat in Goldie's.
Oh, he's calling out the Gopher. Tried to club him with the helmet. I'll tell you who's eating is that Michigan defense today.
Weil will kick it off. Wind at his back once again. Gusts up to 22 miles per hour, but even with the gusts, not able to get it into the end zone here. Maybe the leg getting a little bit tired after all these kickoffs. Marcus Jones speeds out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Gain of 26 on the return. And another chance to watch the development of Max Shortell. What have you seen out of Max Shortell, and what can Gopher fans look forward to with him? What is the type of player he's going to be?
He's made some nice throws. He's a pocket guy that needs time around him. You got to protect him and keep him upright. He's not going to beat you with his feet or try and get outside, but I suspect we'll see similar rollout passes right and left, easy checkdowns. Try and get him in rhythm here.
Young backfield. Shortell is joined by David Cobb, another true freshman. Hands it off to Cobb. And Cobb picks up a couple. Let's go to Dave Revson in the studio for Discover Card Game Break.
Oh, Eric, Dan Persa is back in a big way. His 4th touchdown pass, that is a career high. 3rd to Jeremy Ebert. That ties an NU single game record. Illinois just scored, though, so it's 28-17 Wildcat.
Thanks, Dave. Wow. Pat Fitzgerald got to be thrilled to see Persa back and healthy.
Well, that's most impressive, particularly in that Illinois' defense has been playing as well as any team in the conference.
2nd down. Colin McGarry powers forward. Looks like he's got enough for a first down for Minnesota. Gain of 8. That'll be first down and 10.
Yeah, just a rollout pass hitting the tight end, the Y position. McGarry, and that's what you want to do with Shortell. Don't make him try to think too much out. Simplify the offense, lessen the playbook, go back to the run attack.
Should mention that Dejon McKnight has re-entered the game. He's bottom of your screen, number 6. He left last series. On first down, the carry, David Cobb picks up a yard. If you're just joining us, Max Shortell getting the start because Marquise Gray has got a toe injury, and it was game time decision as to whether or not he could play. Did warm up with the rest of his team, but just not able to give it a full effort. And when your quarterback's not healthy, you leave him vulnerable to getting hurt.
Yeah, no doubt.
Kerry Kill wasn't going to do it.
Well, and I had a chance to eyeball Gray in warm-ups, and clearly he couldn't push off, couldn't move around. So this is the right call. Keep in mind they have Purdue next week, so they want to rest him up as much as possible.
Right side, McKnight can't hang on. Now maybe Dejon is going to get looked at a little bit more.
Well, Eric, here's the deal, is that Minnesota came in knowing that they weren't going to have Gray available. So they wanted to establish a run game, shorten the game a bit, eat up the clock, keep Michigan's potent offense on the sideline. The problem's been is the defense has played just too well, particularly inside with the front seven. They've reestablished the line of scrimmage and just have annihilated the Gophers up front.
So a third down play, 3rd and long. It is high and incomplete. Looking for Devin Crawford-Tufts, another true freshman getting playing time. And it's going to be 4th down. Punt team will come on for the Gophers.
Another 3 and out. And it's just a long day for the Golden Gophers.
Orseski to punt. Into the wind and maybe off the side of the foot. So great starting field position for the Michigan Wolverine offense. Will Denard Robinson return to the field? That's the question here at the Big House. $45-0 Michigan on top of Minnesota, and a new quarterback comes into the game for the Wolverines. Devin Gardner, you'd imagine he'll finish out this game.
Oh, no doubt about it, and it's good for him to get these reps. You never know when he may be turned on due to be the guy.
Sophomore from Detroit, Inkster High. Saw him in the first half take a couple of snaps. Now he's going to throw. Line drive is knocked away. Kyle Henderson, 5th-year senior. Good bit of cornerback play.
Well, I think you want to see Gardner come in and execute the offense, stay within the framework of what they're trying to do. Now, keep in mind that they do have some pro-type plays in here, so when you look at that, he is a pro-style guy. Doesn't surprise me that they come out firing.
Gardner had not thrown a pass coming into today's action. Didn't play last week against San Diego State. Michael Shaw out of bounds at midfield. It'll bring up a 3rd down. Keenan Cooper credited with the tackle.
When you look at young quarterbacks, you always look at their judgment and their decision making. We'll have a chance to see Gardner here. Obvious passing down. Kind of watch through his eyes, see what he sees. Can he read and diagnose the defense? And find his go-to guy.
Vincent Smith has checked into the game into the backfield. Junior Hemingway goes in motion. Design rollout right side. Across the body. Catch is made by Hemingway. So a completion. Devin Gardner to Junior Hemingway. Gain of 14.
Not necessarily a Picasso, but it is a confidence builder. He's going to be running to his right here on the rollout. He's actually going to throw across his body without really setting his feet. But a good job of knowing where Hemingway was going to settle and moving the chains for Michigan.
This is actually really important for Michigan to make sure that they've got a solid backup for Denard Robinson. Denard made all the starts last year, but remember, folks, he was hit around pretty good in conference play and didn't finish out in a lot of games. Tate Forcier was the backup last year. Of course, Tate has transferred, no longer with the program. So it's now important to make sure that Devin Gardner can fill in ably.
Yeah, Rountree's got to pull that ball in. You don't often see him put it on the carpet. But you're absolutely right. I mean, when you look at quarterbacks that are dual threat guys, you wonder about the amount of contact they take. You got to have the next quarterback on deck and ready to go.
2nd down play, they run it. Toussaint had a big day. Toussaint lowers the head and finishes off the run in style. Gets down to the 20. A gain of 16.
You know, Toussaint's interesting because he finishes his runs better than when he starts. And he gets it, and when he squares up and he gets to that top end speed, he can deliver a strike to the defender. See right there, he makes one cut, but then he picks up speed, and he's such a linear player, a north-south type runner.
First 100-yard day for Fitzgerald Toussaint. 104 yards. Just a sophomore from Youngstown, Ohio. Stays in the game. And this time he gets down to the 16-yard line, a pickup of 4 more.
What I've been impressed with today as well, Eric, is Michigan's ability to engineer and sustain long drives down the field. Because if you look at this team, and historically it's been like Michigan to be a big strike, quick scoring type of offense, it's nice to see them manufacture some long drives as well.
Toussaint behind Hopkins in the backfield. Hopkins playing a decent amount of fullback today. John McColgan not in uniform. Gardner refusing to go down. Looking like Denard Robinson here is going to try the left side. Still on his feet. And down to the 12-yard line. Well, he bled about 20 seconds off the game clock there.
Yeah, the young man's got his swag for sure. But this is what he's going to give you. He's a 6'4" quarterback, so he's bigger in his size and measurables than Denard Robinson, so he's able to take the contact, because this should be a sack. But because of his physical presence, he's able to elude the rush, get outside the pocket, and then let his athletic traits take over.
Denard looking on and said, well, why did you run 60 yards and only pick up 4? Tight end in motion may have been done incorrectly. That's Steve Watson, I think, may have.
Delay of game. Offense. 5 yard. Still. 3rd down.
So it's the delay.
You see Brady Hoke say, that's my fault. Owning that mental mistake.
What do you think is the most impressive thing about Brady Hoke as a coach?
Well, I think the fact that his players love to play for him. I mean, there are guys that you're in the room with. We talked to a number of coaches, and they just kind of get it. I mean, he's a very personable guy. Obviously has a great understanding of football and intelligence. But his players love him. That's always the key. Certainly the key here for Michigan.
.45 left to play here in the 3rd quarter with Chris Martin. I'm Eric Collins. Michigan, they have dominated this game from the first time they've had the ball. 45-0 as they battle Minnesota with a little brown jug. 3rd down. After the timeout, Gardner from the gun. Slips out of the pocket. Not going to get to the 1st down marker. He's tackled at the 15-yard line. Keenan Cooper up to the task. A pickup of 2. It'll bring up 4th down and 5. And the field goal unit will come on.
Yeah, that time Minnesota choosing to bring the heat. They actually brought the corner off the short side of the field to test the awareness of the young quarterback Gardner. Time he felt the rush, doing a nice job of just getting what he can get, allowing for this field goal opportunity.
Brennan Gibbons will attempt from 32 yards. And the streak continues. Michigan so far this year has not been stopped once when they get inside the red zone.
Yeah, they know how to finish with points, and usually it's with touchdowns.
So the lead swells. It's now 48-0. Not to toot your horn about. Michigan on top of Minnesota, 48-0 in this battle for the Little Brown Jug that has been given to the winner ever since 1909. Little Brown Jug has been kept at Schembechler Hall ever since 2005. And Michigan won it back from Minnesota. Flag down on the field. Marcus Jones is on his way to the end zone. First time that Minnesota has made it there today, but we'll have to wait and see. Flag down on the field.
And you have to think this one's going to come back, unfortunately, but it'll be thematic of the undisciplined.
Holding number 85 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty. 1st down.
Chris, you played in this conference. You played special teams. How do you have one team have 5 special teams penalties in one game?
Just mental mistakes and breakdowns. I mean, clearly, right here, There's just no need. You have to play with awareness and smarts. They are just crushing themselves. And Lair's a senior, so he knows better.
5 special teams penalties. Jerry Kill just has to smile. You know, you're just going to have days like that. So take the touchdown off the books, and it's first down at 10. Ball at the 25-yard line. Shortell, nowhere to go. Wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. Let's go to Dave Revson in the studio for Discover Card Game Break.
Eric, thanks. Getting tight in Champaign. Nate Shieldhouse to A.J. Jenkins, his 3rd touchdown of the game, which ties the school record. Went for 2, didn't get it. 28-23, Illinois ball.
Wow. Thanks, Dave. Well, Illinois last year just had their way with Northwestern. At least Northwestern putting up a fight down in Champaign this time around. Second down, designed rollout. Shortell throws on the run, and it is caught. Brandon Green gets the Gophers into Michigan territory.
Oh, just an outstanding delivery and strike by Shortell, hitting the receiver Green in stride. Showing you a little sample of his arm strength and what he can do. Good release by Green outside. He stacks the defensive back, getting him in a trail position. Well done, Max Shortell.
32-yard pickup. Shortell to Green. First time today that the Gophers have made it across the 50. Bennett. Gain of 3.
I keep pounding DeJuan Bennett here. Right between the tackles. Just keep the run game, keep those wheels greased up.
Bennett's played a lot of football in Minneapolis. Came into this game over 1,600 career rushing yards. Maybe the final play of this 3rd quarter. Bennett again, this time wrapped up in the backfield. It's going to be a loss. Michigan defense has been really good at times. Nathan Brink and others bring him down for a loss of 4. To the 4th quarter we go. It has been all Michigan in this battle for the Little Brown Jug. Welcome back, everyone. Big Ten Network Football presented by the United States Marine Corps. Start of the 4th quarter. The 19th ranked Michigan Wolverines all over Minnesota in this battle for the Little Brown Jug. Michigan on defense as the Gophers have penetrated across the 50 for the first time today. 3rd down and 11. Slant incomplete. Deshaun Harris was the intended receiver, but Blake Countess, true freshman from Maryland, got a hand in there and deflected the ball out.
Well, Countess has played well today when his number's been called. That time doing a great job of driving on the slant route. Now this is cover 2, so the hole is in the middle of the field, so they try to sneak in a quick slant. Watch him close on this ball and get his hand inside. Well played. Outstanding coverage.
Dan Orseski, what a day he's had. Had a 64-yard punt. He's also had a 13-yard punt and a 7-yard punt. That was his most recent effort. This time the wind at his back, and isn't he glad? World is totally different for punters when you got the wind at your back. This one a beauty. Gophers, can they save it? It's going to be a touchback. So the ball goes into the end zone, but at least it improves Dan Orseski's punting average. It's going to be a punt of 43 yards, only a net of 23, but he didn't care. As long as it's not 7 yards anymore, he's happy.
Good opportunity by Minnesota to back up Michigan.
It was actually DeJuan Bennett, starting tailback for Minnesota, working special teams, trying to keep that ball alive in the field of play.
Look how balanced they've been. That's what you want. Being able to run it when you need to run it and being able to throw it when you need to throw it.
473 yards of offense, and that number is going to go up. Devin Gardner, shifty little run, picks up 11 yards on first down. How much does the offense change with Gardner in the game as opposed to Denard Robinson?
None. I think they stay absolutely the same because he has a similar skill set. You know, can't run it nearly as well as Denard, but he is athletic. He has good instincts, and he's fast enough to execute. But he has a big-time arm, can make all the throws, and that's what they're hoping is that down the road he's going to be he'll be a very talented passer as well.
Inside handoff, breaking to the right side, across the 50, down to the 43-yard line. Big gain for Thomas Rawls. That's the first time we have seen Rawls all year long. He picks up 25 yards, the first time he touches the ball in the season.
Well, this game's still all about blocking and tackling. You have to be able to do that. You're going to see Minnesota just a number of poor tackles, missed tackles, not wrapping up right there and finishing, trying to go at the ankles, dropping the head, not keeping the head up.
There's Al Borges. A lot of the plays he has called today have been absolute things of beauty. A lot of deception in that first quarter to try and get Devin Gardner involved. Now Gardner playing exclusively the last couple of series. Handoff and not much there at all. Let's go to Dave Revson in the studio for Discover Card Game Break.
All right, Eric, been a close one in Bloomington, but Penn State getting a little distance from Indiana. Matt McGloin to Derek Moy, longest completion of McGloin's career. 74 yards, 13-3, Nittany Lions.
Thanks, Dave. A scary ball game for Penn State. You go to Bloomington, and the way that the Hoosiers have played, you think you got to get that win, and having a hard time of it. Jeremy Gallen gets inside the 30. Chris, I want to get back to the offense that's being played this year for Michigan. Al Borges coming in, wants to have more of a pro-style offense, basically thinking we need to save Denard Robinson from all the hits that he gets. But so far, the offense is much better when they play the spread style that they've done the last couple of years that probably suits Denard better.
No, it's still about comfort level. It's what he's accustomed to. It's a process, Eric, and indoctrinating him in a pro-style offense. It's going to take time. It's going to take game reps. And so they know slowly but surely they will get there, but they're not there yet.
Thomas Rawls picks up 5. While we have a moment, let's take a look at the Sprint Unlimited update.
It has been Denard's show, and Vincent Smith too has done it in a number of ways. What I've liked is that he's been able to do it in the airways, because a lot of people scouting Denard Robinson will say, hey, you just want to make him a thrower and then you got a chance. Well, now he's putting a seed of doubt into all the defensive coordinators in the Big Ten.
Rawls has been used a lot on this drive. He gets the first down at the 14-yard line. Pickup of 7. That now means that Michigan has 322 rushing yards. This off the performance last week against San Diego State when they ran for 376 yards.
Yeah, it's been a physical football game, and that's been the surprise for Minnesota. Really hadn't matched the physicality up front of Michigan's offensive line, who's been able to push them around quite a bit, and then also on the defensive side of the ball.
Another chance for Rawls. He's brought down. In case you're just noticing those numbers on the side of the helmet we told you about in the first half, get used to it. Michigan going to keep those numbers on the side of the helmet all season long. They first did it against Notre Dame. Throwback uniform back to the late 50s, early 60s. And players really liked it, and the coaching staff was receptive to say, you know what, you guys like it, why not? Let's do it.
Life goes in circles.
Power formation left side. Vincent Smith goes right side. He is met with force and dropped at the line of scrimmage.
Vincent Smith can sometimes get lost in a crowd. He's 5'6". So when they run those little wraparound plays, sometimes it's hard to identify where he is on the field. But he's got an extra gear that a lot of backs don't have. He can exploit the slightest of holes and turn a short run into a big one.
Gardner loses the football. Ball is still loose. And Michigan recovers. Vincent Smith doubled back and picked up the loose ball. It was D.L. Wilhite who forced the fumble. And it's going to bring up 4th down and long, and the field goal unit will come on for the Wolverines.
Good fight by Minnesota, though, up front. Watch the pressure from the left side of your screen. Beating guys one-on-one. Able to get a hand in there. Tell that young quarterback, ball security. Minnesota trying to get off the field, getting off the field on 3rd downs.
Gibbons has been perfect so far today. He's got 6 extra points and a couple of field goals. Why not? Brendan Gibbons has now accounted for 12 Michigan points, 6 extra points, 3 field goals. It's 51-0 Wolverines. The Big House big once again. 111,106. Man, first game of Big Ten Conference play on the year for both Minnesota and Michigan with Chris Martin. I'm Eric Collins. Denard Robinson has been gone for a while. Your thoughts on what we've seen of Devin Gardner?
Well, I liked his field presence. He's sort of been that general out there executing the offense. He's a bigger body type guy, but he has the athletic traits that Denard Robinson possesses as well.
Kickoff is going to go out of bounds. That's going to induce a penalty. And it's going to be decent starting field position for Minnesota.
40-yard line. 1st down.
Well, ever since the Wolverines took back the Little Brown Jug in 2006, it has been located in Schembechler Hall. This is John Falk, Michigan equipment guy who is carefully handling this jug that was first purchased at a variety store in downtown Minneapolis in 1903. There it is. Which box is it? Do we know, Chris?
I'm guessing right here.
That Little Brown Jug, which to me is not really little, was purchased for 30 cents in 1903. And now we're going through all this trouble just to see who wants to take it home with him. Devin Crawford Tufts, congratulations to you. His first college catch. This was the last time these two schools met. It was back in 08 at the Metrodome. Morgan Trent, a interception late in the ball game. And then how about Michael Shaw, still playing, active today. He had a big game on the ground, a couple of touchdown passes. Michigan would win for a 3rd straight time at 29-6. Max Shortell, true freshman quarterback, guns a pass that is caught. Some good toughness shown there by Devin Crawford Tufts. His 2nd catch on this drive, 13-yard pickup. Carbon Johnson with the stop. Hit it pretty hard.
Yeah, Johnson has shown that he's a striker. I mean, he's just sitting down there. He sees the dig route unfold. Watch him deliver a blow. Great job of the wide receiver taking the contact and holding on to the football.
So there's a little positive for Minnesota as they're once again in Michigan territory. David Cobb, true freshman tailback, picks up a couple. Let's go down to Dion for more on the Little Brown Jug.
Well, Eric, you know that Brady Hoke is so big on tradition. He had Big John, as they call him, bring this Little Brown Jug to the team last Sunday and give him a little bit of a history lesson as to why it's so important, not only to this team, but to this rivalry and to the Big Ten Conference. Mike Martin, I guess, has been touching it all week, trying to get some good mojo going. It's kind of ironic that it is the oldest trophy in college football here, and it's not the only trophy on campus this weekend. The Big Ten Championship trophy also here. So in order to move a step closer to winning the newest trophy in college football, they'll have to win the oldest today.
Good point. Thank you, Dion. Throw left sideline is incomplete. How big of a deal was it for you, Chris, when you were playing at Northwestern for trophy games?
Well, I mean, for a player, it's just motivation. You know, it's something that you want to band together with your teammates to bring it back home. You love the hardware. That's what you play for.
That's the new Stag Paterno trophy that will be given to the winner of the Big Ten championship game. It's traveling all over the conference. Third down. Showing off a good arm. Shortell throws it too far, looking for Victor Keys. That'll bring up 4th down and 7. I think you keep the offense on the field. Why not?
Yeah, you do, no doubt. And these are valuable reps for Shortell. The last couple plays have been incompletions, but he's made the right reads. One-on-one, man-to-man coverage, taking his shots down the field. Haven't been bad throws. I like the moxie that he's showing under fire.
Now Jerry Kill has decided to punt the football. And so Dan Orseski will punt for the 9th time. Drew Dillio has done the bulk of the punt returning. Dillio replacing
Timeout.
Jeremy Gallen
Michigan,
as the punt returner.
Second chart, timeout. 30 seconds.
And now it's Michigan who calls the timeout.
Kind of surprised Minnesota's not taking a chance here and utilizing another rep with Shortell.
Now, folks, just a reminder, today the Icon Series returns. This time a look at legendary coaches of the Big Ten Conference. Season premiere, it's going to come your way after our game. Michigan's Bo Schembechler, Big Ten Icons presented by Discover. It's immediately following the post-game show right here on BTN. Bo Schembechler just demanded excellence.
And he got it.
Orseski, his 9th punt. Spiral into the end zone. Michigan ball at the 20 when we come back to the Big House. Big Ten Network Football is brought to you by State Farm. For auto, home, life, and banking, get to a better state. And by Verizon, America's largest and most reliable wireless network. There's the Horace Rackham School of Graduate Studies on the north end of Central Campus. We'll be back to Ann Arbor in a moment. .708 left to play in this battle for the Little Brown Jug. Should this score hold and Minnesota not score, it would be the largest shutout win in the history of this series between these two charter members of the Big Ten. Devin Gardner remains the quarterback for Michigan. Thomas Rawls, the deep back, he is stung in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 2. 2 separate occasions, Michigan has won by a score of 49-0 in this rivalry game. 66 and most recently 1974. In total, 19 shutouts in this series. It's a series that's been dominated by Michigan in recent years. They've won 36 of the last 39 against the Gophers. Rawls again. Rawls has only played the last 2 series. He's going to be in the ice bath the next couple of days. He's been getting lit up. All right, today's Verizon Key Connection. What do we have?
Oh, he'll take it though. You know, Junior Hemingway, Denard Robinson, we talked about his efficiency today with the football, particularly in the pass game. Looked masterful executing the offense. Hemingway had a big day.
Gardner's got great feet. Escapes, lobs a pass, incomplete. Probably should have been intercepted. Chase Havlin had it and then dropped it. And it's going to be a 3-and-out.
That's an ill-advised throw, but it's a big-time throw. He showed his arm strength to throw it across the field. And really just a great play on the ball. But boy, that's about as far as you're going to throw it on the football field.
So punt opportunity. Will Hagerup, his first game since coming off that suspension. Brandon Green is deep, and he's just going to tell his Gopher teammates to stay away from the ball. Ball is down at the 48-yard line. A punt of just 27 yards. When we come back, another chance for Minnesota to put some points on the board and avoid the shutout. Welcome back, everyone. Ann Arbor, Michigan. Good gain right up the gut. David Cobb, the true freshman, his best gain as a college player. Came into this game with only 3 yards on 1 carry. Picks up 29 yards here.
Yeah, just a good, tough, physical run inside by Cobb. He's just going to come here, rely on the big guys up front to move bodies out. Nice vision, running with toughness. And this may seem like a point in futility at this stage of the game, but this is critical for Minnesota to put some points on the board, at least mentally for their players.
And now the ball is loose on the ground. It's picked up by Michigan, and we're heading the other way. Courtney Avery showing off some speed. Bye-bye. Touchdown, Michigan. 83 yards on that fumble recovery and score for Courtney Avery.
And there are some days, Eric, that you want to just keep hitting snooze on your alarm clock. This is probably the day for Minnesota. Just nothing can go right, even when they start to get things moving.
So that is now 7 touchdowns for Michigan, 8 offensive and 1 defense. 83-yard fumble return.
You're going to see it's going to be on the right side of your screen. He presses the hole with what you want to do, but the ball just comes right out. Squirt there. Avery does a nice job of bending his legs, the knees to go down and scoop up the ball, exactly what you're taught. And then, of course, he knows how to get north to the end zone. But I stand by what I said, just for Minnesota, the mental aspect of this game, being a former player, you want to have some points on the board. I know it seems like a small deal, but really it has worlds of impact.
Greg Madison, his defense has done what they've been asked. Right now working on a shutout. Last shutout by a Michigan defense happening back in 2007 when Notre Dame was victimized.
And I laud Madison for how he's come in. And above all the numbers and everything, just got this defense playing relentlessly. And folks at home, if you're the defensive coordinator, what you want to term your defense is relentless. And Michigan has been just that, particularly in the last 2 weeks.
This is the 11th time that Matt Weil has kicked off for Michigan. Marcus Jones gets to the edge. Flag down on the field. What's new? And Jones goes out of bounds as he crosses the 50. If this is against Minnesota, it is their 6th special teams penalty.
I'm not sure I've ever seen that in a game.
During a return, holding number 13 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
You know, the worst part about this, Eric, is that Minnesota struggled last week with penalties as well. And we talked to Coach Kill about that, and he said, you know, that's part of the rebuilding of a program. Yeah, you're going to see just the hand.
Shortell still the quarterback. He has taken every snap today, replacing Marquise Gray, who's got the toe injury. Gray warmed up before the game and just wasn't able to give it a go. And so Shortell, true freshman quarterback, 18 years of age, playing against the 19th ranked team in the country in front of 111,000. It's a tough task. I don't know how many 18-year-olds there are in the world that could perform at a high level in this type of atmosphere.
It's a fair statement. And up against the hot defense, the defensive line's been playing off the chain.
Gophers began their season by playing well out on the West Coast, losing by just a couple of points against USC. Lost to New Mexico State, beat Miami, lost against North Dakota State. Now they're going to lose their conference opener. What are some positives? Obviously, you look at the scoreboard at 58-0. You say, you know what? We learned nothing today. But Jerry Kill's going to find something on that tape and say, you know what? We can build on that. What is it?
Well, he's going to go through and he's going to pick out plays where they've had some success, whether it's Shortell throwing the ball down the field, maybe a good run by DeJuan Bennett. And that's all you can do at this point. Because players know, I mean, you can't sidestep it with these guys. They know that this just hasn't worked out well today. But you will try and find the small little things.
And when you punt for almost twice as many yards as you gain offensively, you're going to struggle. And that's the case for Minnesota this afternoon here at the Big House. Pass is incomplete. We're going to have a fourth down situation.
And if you're Shortell, I mean, that's what you signed up for. You took the scholarship. You want to play. You know, yes, you're being thrown to the wolves early. It will get better. It's not always going to be 90 degrees and sunny. But you look for him to learn from his experience and from the game reps that he picked up today.
10th punt for Dan Orseski. Wind at his back. Low kick bounces at the 40 and spins out of bounds at the 35-yard line. And look at that. The hamper has been opened. The little brown jug contained there. Looks like it's not going to leave Ann Arbor. Next weekend, two great matchups right here on BTN. First, the Illini head to Bloomington to take on the Hoosiers. That's a game amongst Leaders Division teams. Then in prime time, it's a Legends Division clash, Northwestern and Michigan. Next Saturday at a special time. First game coming your way, 2:30 Eastern time, only on BTN. Michigan going to go into that game 5-0. Brady Hoke feeling great about his program right now. Something that Michigan has always done, though, is win conference openers. For some reason, over the years, Michigan has just dominated in their first Big Ten game of the year. They have won 41 of their last 43 conference openers. Last time they lost one was 05 against Wisconsin. Before that, it was 1981 in Madison against Wisconsin.
Well, to me, though, it's just a much different team in terms of their football character and demeanor. And I credit Coach Hoke. You know, they coach these guys hard. They don't allow them to take a play off. They call them out for loafs. They coach them incredibly hard. And to the players' credit, they've taken it well.
Gardner keeps it. And he's tackled. He goes out of bounds. That'll stop the clock. Gain of 15 yards. Jeremy Jackson loses the shoe. Maybe he's got the Denard Robinson style of shoelace tying. Just a reminder, stay tuned. Dave, Jerry, Howard, and Glenn will be along for the State Farm postgame. Scores, highlights, and analysis of all of today's games. Once again, crossing the 50. Wolverines had the ball on the 47. Today's Polaris hardest working player, no doubt about it.
Well, he's been outstanding. 3 touchdowns, running, throwing, catching a touchdown. Big time player, and to me, he continues to step up in, along with Toussaint, grasp ownership of the running back position.
Rawls free in the secondary, and Rawls down to the 16. Spencer Reeves brings him down, but another good gainer, 24 more yards for Rawls.
My good friend Howard Griffith always says running backs like to run with their eyes, and we've seen that from Smith today. We've seen it from Denard, and Eric, this run game for Michigan continues to step up, which is what you want to see from the staff. You know, not just counting on the legs of Denard Robinson. They have 4 or 5 talented backs that can run between the tackles, get outside. What a luxury for Al Borges.
364 rushing yards for the Michigan Wolverines. And folks, I've just been handed a note. We're going to see right now the first time a Brady Hoke team has failed inside the red zone. They've made it inside the red zone, inside the 20, but they're going to take a knee so they won't score. Every other time so far this year, inside the red zone, they've been money.
And it's the ultimate sign of deference for that guy, Jerry Kill, and his team, out of respect, and clearly the right thing to do.
So the Little Brown Jug stays in Ann Arbor. Brady Hoke and the Michigan Wolverines improved to 5-0. They have got a very important game next Saturday evening in Evanston against Northwestern.
Under the bright lights. Saw a lot of bright lights players today. That's a big one, but this team's on a roll.
The United States Marine Corps would like to salute Denard Robinson as today's leader of the game. A couple of touchdowns passing. He ran one in. Seems to do that every week.
Yeah, executing well. Did not make a lot of mistakes today.
Dion is standing by downstairs with Brady Hoke.
Thanks, Eric. Well, Coach, your first Big Ten win, and you get to keep that Little Brown Jug. What does this one mean to you?
Well, that brown jug, it was ours to begin with, so it's awful important to us at Michigan, and I know it is Minnesota, and we're fortunate enough to come out on the right side today, and kids played well together.
You opened up the playbook a little bit in the first half, really got that passing game going. Did you see what you wanted to offensively?
Well, I don't know. You know, we'll get back tonight and look at the film and see if, you know, how productive we were in some things. I think, you know, Denard did a pretty good job on target, and the routes were run right, and that's all part of it.
All right, 5-0 sounds pretty good, huh, Coach?
Well, we got a long way to go, as you know.
All right, thanks so much.
Thanks.
Eric.
Dion, thank you so much. Great job. 58-0 the final score. Little Brown Jug stays in Ann Arbor. And Brady Hoke's Wolverines improved to 5-0. That's going to do it. For my partner, Chris Martin, Dion Miller, and our entire Big Ten Network crew, I'm Eric Collins saying so long, everybody. Now let's send you to the State Farm postgame and Dave Revson in our Chicago studio.